welcome back, Tiger Hawk Sports fans, to another Tiger Hawk Sports podcast. I'm Noah Weiss.
I'm Chris Gallagher.
It's been a while, guys, since we've been on this podcast.
It has.
But season getting underway. We're seeing so many things on TikTok right now. 57 days around there to start of NFL Sunday. 8 weeks to NFL Sunday. I mean, that can't come any closer for me, right?
Honestly, no. I mean, what was the tweet I put out yesterday? I want to hear your thoughts about it. I want to hear your take. The days. You ranking the days of football year.
I put
So
that already.
if you're doing 1 through 5 of fantasy football draft day, NFL draft day, first red zone Sunday, Thanksgiving,
I got you.
and what was the other one? Fantasy football,
NFL draft.
NFL draft, red zone Sunday.
First red zone Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, Thanksgiving.
There you go. Okay.
I did tweet something back at our post, just trying to give my feedback on it.
Right. You said Thanksgiving was last.
I did. This is why it's so good. Those are like the 5 biggest moments in sports.
All right, regardless of the rankings, I think no matter what, number 1 is red zone Sunday.
So I didn't agree with that.
It's red zone Sunday.
I see, like
the first red zone
like,
Sunday. Imagine you're sitting at home.
Yeah. But like I compare red zone Sunday so close to the draft. Because like that, I'm as much as I'm waiting my team to kick off.
You're saying
I'm anticipating myself for this fantasy football draft. Like I love fantasy football.
Right.
So like week 1 red zone is like
it's
the kick of the fantasy football.
It's number 1. It's number 1. Imagine it. Like fantasy football, I get the fantasy football draft day. I understand, like you're preparing, you're doing all these mock drafts. But like imagine a red zone Sunday. It's the weekend after Labor Day. Your fantasy team is set. You have your fantasy teams. You're chilling with a bowl of chips. You're chilling with a chick maybe, and you're just watching. And all of a sudden, the countdown, that music is on. You're watching the countdown, 40 seconds on your TV, and you're just pacing back and forth. And you finally sit down, and you hear Scott Hansen come on the TV.
Are you telling me you don't have that same rush with your first overall pick in the draft?
I do.
Waiting.
I do, but it's not the same.
Like that's official to the season. Like once fantasy football starts,
especially the first one. Especially the first one.
It's hard. That's why it's so hard. That's why I put that list together. I don't even know. All right,
I would say
what would your 5 be? What would your 5 be? Be honest. What would your 5 be? Like,
if I have to say Super Bowl Sunday, just because every time I watch, my team's not playing. It's usually the Eagles or Tom Brady or so.
Yeah,
like,
but Super Bowl Sunday is like I love Super Bowl Sunday because
I think it has
to gather around with like family, friends, watch football. It's a fucking major day to bet on football. Like, just
so quickly run through your 5.
All right, so quickly, if I had to redo my 5, it would be fantasy 1, red zone 2, NFL draft 3, Super Bowl Sunday 4, Thanksgiving 5, and Thanksgiving 5 only for the fact that yes, I have the Cowboys every single day, but also I feel like Thanksgiving games some games are fun, some games are so fucking boring. Like the earlier games, maybe this year, just to me.
See,
it didn't have the excitement factor to me.
I think our lists are very different. I mean, I think the red zone Sunday, nothing matches red zone Sunday, especially the first one.
I agree, but the
second is the fantasy football draft day. You prepare all summer to do that draft. You do the drafts that you got, build a team. You know,
I mean,
nothing beats draft day.
We just switched 1, 2.
Also 1, 2, 3 is Thanksgiving. I mean, I guess I'm a little biased because I'm a Cowboys fan, but
like, yeah, but you get to see your team every Thanksgiving.
You're eating fucking turkey. You're chilling, watching Dak tear up a couple of teams. You know, Jared Goff this year. Thanksgiving is 3. 4 is draft day, NFL draft day.
I mean, I do get to see St. Brown.
I'd say 4 is NFL draft day just because it's not necessarily the first day you're excited for; it's the whole thing in general. So I give it 4. 5 for me is what am I going to say?
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday.
I just love the atmosphere of Super Bowl Sunday, the excitement, the end of the season. Like you're waiting to
also last at the end of the season.
Yeah, but like that caps off a great fucking season.
So like,
I mean, I don't think so. I think about football 24/7, no matter
I guess.
7 days a week.
I guess, but there's times like right now, like we're in a stretch of 2 days. There's no baseball, football, basketball, nothing. Regardless of what you think of each sport, there's nothing.
I mean, I completely agree, but I mean, right now my
But
mindset is
Talking
fantasy.
about it, it's almost
So-
August. It's almost August. We're getting to that fantasy football mode. We're getting into the training camp. What's something you're excited about? Fantasy, football, whatever.
I mean, I think the biggest thing I'm excited for, and we be honest, is to see how these rookie QB perform.
Everybody's excited for that.
Because
That's
well,
stupid. That's
no,
stupid.
but like my thing though is, I want to see how they can come in and handle the pressure of the rookies in the pack. Do you think a player like
Like
Joe
who?
Burrow can coming in his first year, like
He didn't. He tore his ACL.
you having his really damn good year before it's ACL?
Patrick Mahomes' rookie year didn't even start.
Oh, okay, so that's what I'm saying.
So
all these types,
Justin Fields
look,
look his rookie year.
there's all these types on these QBs coming
You
in.
want to know who had a great rookie year? There's only one quarterback, honestly, in
Probably Dak.
recent Dak.
Yeah.
Dak probably had one of the best rookie years of all time.
But I'm saying though, all Dak what?
So
but
yes,
Dak,
I understand
but Dak
rookies,
wasn't.
but like,
Dak wasn't a first round pick though.
are you saying rookie
have-
quarterbacks or rookies in general? Like everybody's excited for rookies.
You're saying look at QBs.
Who?
C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Andrew Richardson. And
Obviously,
they were
That answer doesn't count.
they were
Everybody's
top four
excited for
picks.
the rookies. They never played in the NFL.
See,
before.
I'm not. See,
So
I'm,
just give me something. Else.
I wasn't so excited for them. I'm excited to see can they perform at the level of top 4 talent. When you have Bryce Young,
But that's every quarterback.
Not really, because Dak Prescott
You
knows
were saying the same thing about Jameis Winston and Mariota when they came. You were saying the same thing about Jared Goff and Carson Wentz when they came. Baker,
okay. That
Sam Darnold when they came.
start of the season, you have to be excited about something about that aspect.
Yeah, but everybody's excited for rookies. That's not an answer. I want something.
I thought, what are you excited for? Give me what you excited for then.
To be honest, off the top of my head, the AFC, see how it shakes out for one. I mean, now you have Rodgers in there. This year, it's completely lopsided, the conferences, even more so than it usually was. I mean, look at the NFC.
I mean,
And
NFC,
really,
the
I
NFC
think
is the
I have
dominant
a hot.
division right now too in the NFC. Anyways.
I have a bold take, not necessarily a bold take, but an interesting take. I think the 49ers are probably the most overrated championship team in recent history.
I mean, what championship team are they?
They went to the NFC Championship game.
They didn't win.
And now people are saying they're automatically going to get back there. So
They
the Eagles,
didn't win. So now they're a
Eagles
champion.
49ers again.
They're not. They didn't win. It's not a champion. They made
But
it.
they're a championship team. They've been to the championship. Yes.
All right.
Because who's their quarterback? I've never
Speaking
I've
of the
never-
49ers,
I've never seen-
that.
I've
Are
never
you
seen
on
a
the block
team.
Purdy hype train?
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm not. What has he done? What has he done?
I mean,
He beat the Cowboys, and the Cowboys, it's self-inflicted every time they get into the playoffs. Being the Cowboys in the divisional round is not impressive. It's not.
but yet also you see who they ran through going into that.
Who?
No, I'm just saying. If we pulled up
Look at the NFC West right
all
now.
the QBs right now who Brock Purdy beat, I'm almost positive 2 of them are backups. One was Colt McCoy.
I'm telling you, if you're better and you're placing division winners, like those future bets, take the Seattle Seahawks. Their money line's got that. Those odds got to
See,
be good.
I also love the Seattle
I think-
defense, to be honest, too.
I was just gonna say the Seattle defense probably the most least talked about unit in football right now.
I,
That's probably one of the best.
I honestly think the NFC has a lot of good defenses. Like a lot
Seattle
of
Seahawks,
Seattle Seahawks.
arguably, in my opinion, have top 3, top 5.
Completely good. I also think
Tariq Woolen, Jamal Adams coming back, and
Devon Witherspoon.
Devon Witherspoon they just drafted in that secondary. That doesn't even cover the
They-
interior.
They got back one of the best linebackers.
They have Bobby Wagner and Jordan Brooks as their linebackers, and their D line has
They got someone this year too, I think. Forget who.
they got the guy from the Broncos. Literally
Yeah.
can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, neither can I.
But that back end extremely improved.
No, I completely agree.
So
Well,
Seattle
see,
Seahawks.
another thing that I'm looking for specifically for this season. I mean, obviously, we talked a lot about in the past Aaron Rodgers being bust to the Jets and that work. I want to see how the Jets season pan out. 'Cause I want to have our podcast be the one that's saying it's a fucking bust. If that trade even happened in the first place.
Who?
The Aaron Rodgers trade.
I wouldn't say it was a bust.
I mean, it's a bust if they don't. If you're telling me if
if they don't win the Super Bowl, yes, I'm
No,
okay
well,
with
no, I
keeping
don't-
those receipts.
see, I don't even think that. I
No,
don't.
I
think-
am.
I
I'm
don't.
saying that. You trade for Aaron Rodgers because you want to win a Super Bowl. I'm not
I mean-
doing this argument again.
No, I agree, but I don't think going to the Super Bowl you say the bust. I think it's a lost
It's a
season.
bust. You trade for Aaron Rodgers because you won a Super Bowl. It's simple. You don't trade for a 38-year-old quarterback when you have a young team like that if you're not making the Super Bowl. You can be a dynasty with that team.
But you also
built right now.
Yeah, but you also haven't made the playoffs in years. You have Zach Wilson, your QB.
That's fine.
I mean, you win one playoff game. I think it's a bust. You make it.
I've come to terms.
You make it to the AFC Championship game, and you go up against
the trade itself.
But you made the AFC Championship game, and you're battling Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes beats you at the end of the day. I mean, name me a QB that can beat Patrick Mahomes time and time again. I mean, Joe Burrow is the only QB that I know of.
So you're telling me that a team's legacy is built off of being a runner-up?
No, they're not. But I'm not going to say
nobody counts how many Super
Bowls.
Nobody cares how many Super Bowls you've been to and lost. They care about how many Super Bowl trophies you actually have.
I know, I completely agree. But
so
I'm
if Aaron Rodgers gets to the Super Bowl for the Jets or AFC Championship and loses to Patrick Mahomes, yes, it's a bust. You didn't get to the Super Bowl.
I would say it's a lost season.
It's a bust.
I want to say
it's a bust.
How is that a complete bust?
It's a bust. What do you mean? It's Super Bowl or nothing. I don't care if you get to the AFC Championship game. I don't care if you get in the playoffs. You're winning the Super Bowl or nothing. You trade for a 30-year-old quarterback. You're paying him $50 million a year.
I mean, that factor is true.
All that cap space. You're winning the Super Bowl.
That factor is true.
So this could be an argument all year.
I completely agree. Well, I'm sure we'll have this argument keep going. But I really want to know your takes on that. What do you guys think about that bust theory? I mean, it's a make it or break for the Jets. I think, no matter what this year, to be honest.
Then go back to the NFC. Who's winning the NFC? Eagles, I think, are obvious.
I mean,
I'm going to say it over and over again. I think Jalen Hurts is overrated. Is he a top 3 quarterback? Does he have the potential? Sure, but he's not a pure passer. If you put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands to throw the ball, I'm not taking. I'm not taking.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I think the NFC
you could put
that NFC this year.
Brock Purdy was successful in the 49ers because of the team around him.
And the scheme.
Exactly.
Through Kyle Shanahan.
And you think the Eagles have a very different scheme? They don't.
They don't.
They actually have a better roster than the 49ers, number one. They had the easier schedule to get there. So, yeah, they should have been in the Super Bowl. But it's going to be the top 3 teams, the Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys again. Those are the 3 teams people are going to look at. And the Cowboys, this is their year. How much longer you got with Jerry Jones?
Yeah, I mean, I think what Jerry Jones did this year, I am so fucking impressed with. I love the addition of Brandon Cooks. I love the addition of Stephon Gilmore. I mean, I think I heard a lot of hate of them drafting Mazi Smith, but I think Mazi Smith, my bad. I think Mazi Smith to them solidified their D line. He was a beast at Michigan, especially in the run game. So solidifying holes on your team when you don't have many holes completely helps. You now have a true back in Tony Pollard.
Speaking of the Cowboys, I'm telling you, I think Stephon Gilmore is going to be a huge help to Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is a very aggressive corner. He tries to jump routes, gets a lot of interceptions doing it, but he also gives up a lot of yards doing it. Stephon Gilmore is a guy that can lock down people and get the interceptions. I think it's going to be huge for Trayvon Diggs, especially with his ball hawk skills and his receiving abilities. But a sleeper from the Cowboys team that I think is going to show up this year and impress a lot of people is the guy they got in 5th round, 4th round, something like that. The linebacker from Texas, DeMarvin Overshown. He's literally Micah Parsons, just plays middle linebacker. He's Micah Parsons. He's going to take a lot of pressure off of Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons is going to have a field day this year. Another bet for you. Micah Parsons win defense player. Okay.
I love that. You know how I'm a big Micah Parsons fan and a fan. So,
okay.
But why don't we briefly talk about? I don't want to talk a lot. We're gonna get into it this week over week. The Saquon Barkley fucking saga.
Saquon is.
Dude, I said it from week fucking 1 when they did it. From the time they fucking signed him or franchise tagged him, it was a fucking mistake.
Saquon's playing a dangerous game.
It was a freaking mistake.
I think Saquon's playing.
I love Saquon. I absolutely love Saquon. I think he's going to be. I wanted to be a Giant for the rest of his life. I think he's a great player, but when the running back market is not what it is anymore. You're not paying a running back $18 million a year anymore.
So, whose side are you on, Giants or Saquons?
I'm on the Giants side. I'm not paying Saquon $18 million a year.
I don't think it's necessarily the money.
No, it's
is
the
problem
money.
for Saquon.
Well, what could it be then?
It's the long term. But it makes sense. But
No.
that's also you got to
But
understand. If you're Saquon, you got to understand the Giants' perspective. Look at Le'Veon Bell. I'm pretty sure he sat out for a year with the Steelers, ended up going to the Jets, and then his career just took a turn for the worse after that. And he came out and even said, "If I were to do it over again, I wouldn't have sat out." So if you're Saquon, you got to prove it. You were drafted what, number 2 overall? Four overall to be the Giants' generational talent. Yeah, you had a couple of spurts here and there, but you were not a generational talent. You were not playing better than most guys.
I think last
And
year
you haven't
he
been
had a
able to
great
stay
year.
healthy.
Last year he had a great
He
year.
hasn't been able to
Do it
stay
again.
healthy. He hasn't been able to stay healthy.
If-
Great leader, clearly has the talent, but if you're Saquon, play on the tag this year, prove it, and then you can even ask for more money. If
I completely agree.
like
I mean,
prove that you can stay healthy,
If Saquon has a career year this year on his tag, trying to prove himself,
he's gonna get
And
a
then-
massive.
and then
Contract.
goes, helps the Giants win playoff games, and who knows, brings the Giants to the championship game after having that career year, I wouldn't mind paying him $18, $19 million a year.
I agree.
But
I
I'm
agree.
not paying him now when he hasn't proved anything after his 20th sale.
I absolutely
agree.
agree. I absolutely agree.
Well, let's just talk about things we're like. I know these are like things we're looking forward to, but what is your bold prediction of like betting or odds or Super Bowl or something as with about 2 months away from the season? What do you think is going to happen, like prediction wise, in any aspect? Could be a rookie of the year, could be Super Bowl MVP, could be a
So
Super Bowl.
you want me to give a future
Yeah, I
bet,
guess
basically.
essentially, yeah.
It's tough. I mean, I don't know. I can't give you one right now.
I mean, I got mine right now.
What is it?
I didn't pay for bet too. I had Jameer Gibbs about what when a rookie defense rookie defense rookie of the year and offensive rookie of the year. I think. I mean, for me to think that Jameer Gibbs even alone will not even be in the contention or competition for that, after they had probably one of the best running backs in the NFL, DeAndre Swift, and then they got Jameer Gibbs, a similar player. I think he has to be a focal point on that offense. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to take rookie of the year, I think Bijan Robinson set up to be
Yeah,
the
I
guy
mean
there.
it's
So
it's 1-2.
offensive rookie of the year, I'd give there. Defense rookie of the year, I'm trying to.
Do you not think a QB can win that opportunity? Think it's going to go to Bijan or Jameer?
Good. I mean, definitely quarterbacks have the edge, but I don't know. I think defense rookie of the year,
Yeah.
I'd go with Miles Murphy.
I like that.
Go Bull.
So before we end the podcast today, last year around this time we had a podcast. We're talking about one division, just was going to be the best division in football, and expectations fucking plummeted. You know what division I'm talking about? The AFC West. What are your expectations in the AFC West this year? Because yet again, I think there's high hope. Russell Wilson's back again.
I think the
hopefully,
Broncos are a team that's going to come back to life this year.
with the
The
Chargers.
Chargers are going to be interesting to see what happens with that offense and Kellen Moore if they can stay healthy, absolutely. And then Chiefs are the Chiefs. Raiders.
I don't know anything about them, but I'm saying, but that last year that team was so high, and it's still the same thing.
I think a division that's going to be the best division in football this year is the AFC North, but that's a conversation for another
Completely
day.
agree.
So, but that pretty much covers it. We're trying to keep it short.
Short, simple, to the point. I mean, if you got anything you want us to talk about, shoot us our way on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. But with that, Tiger Hawk Sports out.